We're live. All right. Welcome back, everyone. With a brand new track. I'm your host, who does the most, and I'm joined by my two co-hosts, Joey 6 times and Red Devil Soul. How are we doing, my fellas? How are we doing? Some of us are cheerful, some of us aren't. Yeah, you can see it from our facial expressions as well. But look, we're not going to give too much away. Let's just get straight into it, enjoy ourselves. But before we do, how are we doing, fellas? How are we doing? Besides football,
I'm doing really good.
Okay, cool.
Footballing wise, obviously champions. Some pretty big transfer news, which is broke today. We'll touch on that a bit later in the show. But overall, great. Seeing both some of my two most hated clubs both lose a final in the last week. I've waited my whole life for this week, like pretty much like a week like this, so a year like this. Here it is. So I'm just going to soak it up. I'm going to enjoy it. I'm looking forward to it. It's good.
Mate, continue. Look, I'm going to cut you off immediately because if we start now, then look, the show is just going to go to shit. So we'll leave the main course for the end because I know you have a lot to say. I mean, I know I would if similar circumstances happen. I mean, I have, but anyway, yeah, you can have what you have to say, but wait till the end. All right, wait till the end. I guess we'll start with yours truly, the main host, but his team doesn't do the most when it comes to FA Cup finals. But let's take it away. Let's take it away, fellas. Going into the week, well, yeah.
You could say it wasn't a very. You could say it wasn't a very easy week, eh? As a week.
As a week. All right, cool. That's one ban. You got 3 more. 2 more. Sorry, if it goes on, then you're out for 5 minutes. I've got the cards here as well. I was prepared for you. Anyway, shut your mouth. So no, look. All right, I'll be a bit serious, and then we'll get into the banter if you want. So, look, going into the match, yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you, I was excited. I was joking about all this cup competition, but whatever. But look, and then end of the day, it's a cup final. Of course, you're gonna be excited, and you know my opinion about cup finals. I couldn't care what cup it is, as long as if we get there, we're in the final. I'll support it no matter what. Don't get me wrong, different cups, different circumstances, but yeah. Anyway. So going into it, I'm not gonna lie to you, so I was pretty confident. But at the same time, I said to you on the previous pod, I was like, look, if Crystal Palace do what Southampton, like just copy and paste what Southampton did, and they're better than Southampton, they'll win this game. And yeah, that's pretty much what happened. So yeah, look, I'll get into the game. I'll be honest with you. Look, there was some controversy and all this stuff, and we'll get into that as well. But I'll be straight up on with you, and I'll just get straight to the point. Even though Palace won, and like I'm a City fan, I'll tell you right now, we did not deserve to win that cup, the FA Cup, just the way we played in that game.
You can't really skip the controversy, like.
No, I'm not saying we're skipping it.
What ruined the whole game, really? I don't like using like that ruin. If that happened to me, like, I'd be really pissed off. So I don't know why you're not pissed off, because that literally ruined your whole chance of winning that.
So I like I said to you, I'm going to get to the controversy, but from this overall experience, even with the controversy, even with the penalty, everything, we did not deserve to win this game. What I'm trying to get at, we did not make enough. We didn't lay a punch on Crystal Palace. And bro, they didn't even have to do anything. They had to, I saw the graph at the end, and it made me fume so hard. I look more red than the jerseys that you have sometimes. It was, what was it, 70-something percent possession for us and 27% possession for them. That's insane.
What if he didn't come out and Haaland scored?
Who? Haaland when Henderson. Yeah, look, like I said, we'll get to that.
Could have changed the whole game.
Might as well talk about it now because you brought it up. But no, look, it was around the 20th minute, and to be honest, it was funny. A long ball off Edison, like just a quick kick him, old school tactics, Storm Dyche tactics, just kick it up and kick it to our big long strike, and hopefully he goes for it. And that's exactly what happened. Edison boots it up. I think it was Edison. Yeah, Haaland goes for it, and it's an awkward bounce, beats the defender, and you could see it. Even at the time, like before the VAR, everything, you could see it was like out of the box. Like from my opinion, anyway, I was like, wait, like even the co-commentators when they make those noises, like ooh or whatever, they were like, he literally did that, and then they showed the replay, and literally both of them were like, yes, ooh, that's a red card, that's a red card, that's a red card. Then they stopped the game, as you know, did the whole check, but it wasn't like those quick checks, whatever. Didn't even, I think, did he even go to check the camera? I don't think he even went to check the camera. I think they stopped the game for a little bit, and then they're like, yeah, no, it's fine. We're just gonna play on practically. Literally, that was from what I can gather, because there was no explanation. There was no like, oh, it was because he did this. That's why he hit, like, he got away with it. It was nothing like that. It was just straight up, oh, play on. Like, back in the day when we used to play in, in school and shit, it was like, the most horrific tackle and right in front of you, you'd be like, oh, play on. So, no, look, that happened. Of course, I'm fuming, and like what Sol said, because Haaland gets to that, he doesn't handball it, he rounds that keeper, that's 1-0, and then possibly 2-0. If we get the penalty, and then Marmoush score. You know what? This is the thing. Like, I'm just saying, this is what if scenarios, but let's just say
not even that was the penalty was late. I mean, like, he's would have got momentum off that first goal if he did score.
Yeah,
like, he's
that's what I'm trying to say. That's what, but no, this is like just a what if scenario. If Haaland scored that,
but
I reckon he would have taken the penalty as well. He wouldn't have given it to Marmoush, in my opinion.
I reckon the correct decision was made to protect the integrity of the game. The correct decision was made.
Look, this is
like,
your second strike.
I don't like his, like, the best aside, but like, you'd be fuming if that happened to you.
Yeah,
like
this guy does emergency streams when it goes against his team, but when it's against my team or your team, integrity of the game. Again, you're on your second strike.
Emergency streams.
Yeah, get out of here! 1 hour emergency streams demanding.
It really changed the whole game, because that could have been a whole send off down to 10 men.
Jokes aside, I definitely.
Or even like I said, if he didn't come out, Haaland scored. You could maybe got a little bit of momentum into the and like kept scoring again, or it would have opened the game up, because they would have definitely had to come.
Well, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. It would have been like exactly what you're just saying right there. I can't explain that better than what you just said. But yeah, no, everything you just said and more some. So. But taking that away.
So fuck.
But taking that away, we didn't do anything as well.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't do enough afterwards. All right, we didn't create anything. Even like penalty.
And he was a beast, bro. Like, he saved at least 3 goals. Dean Henderson, after that.
Yeah, bro. I think he got man of the match. Correct me if I'm wrong. Oh, was it Eze? One of the two. But either way,
I don't even know. I thought it was Dean Henderson.
I thought it was Dean Henderson as well. I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. But look, at the end of the day, insane call, especially in a cup final, whatever. But what do you do? Like, at the end of the day, like I said, I'm just looking at it from a City's perspective. Of course, that's just shit go, and like, I'm definitely pissed off about it. But at the time, if we did more, like, don't get me wrong, let's say we had heaps of chances and we're going at Crystal Palace and we actually made a game out of it, and then I would have been more, obviously more pissed off, more rattled about this situation. But like I said, we didn't do enough. Like I said, besides that penalty chance, we did nothing. You know what I mean? Yeah, Doku had that chance, great save, a couple of chances from the corner. But then other than that, we were just back to the same old City from this season, when we were losing all those games. Pass to the side, let Akanji and freaking get Diaz get the ball and shoot from outside the box and let it go on Rosette or something. Don't know why we're doing that. We got figured out super quickly. Like I said to you, they copied and pasted Southampton's game, but this time they actually had players to run. You know what I mean? They had Eze, what's his name?
Their counter-attacking goal was pretty good, bro.
Great, bro. And that's all they needed to do. It was so simple. It was what's his name? Mateta or that big striker. I always get his name wrong. Sorry.
Yeah, Mateta, yeah.
Yeah, Mateta. Sorry. Yeah, bro. Quick hold up play, holds off both our centre backs like it's nothing. Just spins around, passes off to their wing back. Yeah, off to their wing back, and then GG's. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like,
what
for
a
them.
cross too. First time finished. That was
Yeah, that right back or whoever, what's his name? I can't remember his name now. Bro, he was cooking.
Munoz or
Yeah,
something.
he was cooking us. He was cooking us.
Who
That
knows?
poor,
Yeah,
Nico
he's good,
O'Reilly
eh?
couldn't keep up, and it wasn't even Nico O'Reilly's fault because you could see Pep was telling him go inside, and then as soon as he went inside, this guy was like, all right, run. You know what I mean? And then he has to track back. So, like I said, they figured us out. Look, they could have been 2-0 up if it wasn't for offside, which it was offside as well. And yeah, look, a lot of what ifs, a lot of, like I said, this could have went either way. But at the end of the day, it was just Crystal Palace day. We missed the penalty as well. Like that was another talking point in my opinion. In my opinion, Haaland should have taken it. Even if he had missed it, you're still the striker.
That's the question I want to ask.
Yep.
Why?
Please, you tell me why. You tell me why.
As the guy, as the guy, and then this is the thing. If it was another, even if it was another, say, if it was another player, like another team's best player, like say, if it was Arsenal and Saka didn't take it, I probably wouldn't ask as many questions either. But when your whole game is pretty much based around how you put the ball in the net a lot, like Haaland's like, he's good at other things, but his main strength is obviously the ability to score goals. And you don't get paid what you get paid.
That's what we literally bought him for. To be a clinical goal scorer, which he is, don't get me wrong, and let's not take that away from him.
100% he is. And no, I'm not taking it, definitely not.
Yeah, no, I know you're not saying that, but I'm just saying
he's got the most goals out of anyone in an English Premier League campaign. That's what I've always said he's good at.
In his first season, which is insane. Like, no one's ever done that. Like breaking records for fun and shit. But no, I'll talk. Like again, I'm not going to give him excuses because I'm just as, if not more, confused than you, to be honest. Because what you're just saying in Morsum, in my opinion, he's our striker. He's our penalty taker as well. Look, if it was 2-3-0 up, whatever, no problem. Yeah, Marmoush take the ball, whoever you giving it to, or KDB, you want to score in the final, no problem. Whatever, sentimental bullshit. But not when, like you said, it's the cup's on the line, the game's on the line. It's a crucial point in the game. Like we need to get this. If we do, like you said, the momentum could change. But no, he goes like again, and I think they spoke to Pep about it. They're like, oh, was this like a tactical change or whatever? And Pep even, like I thought if it was, I was like, okay, fair enough. But no, it wasn't because Pep even says like, no, they decided that on the pitch. I don't know what happened. So look, the only thing I can say to him, again, I'm not giving excuses. Like he just came back from injury, he's not confident. But again, that's not an excuse, bro. You're a world-class striker. You get like what you're just saying. You get paid to score the big boy goals in the big boy games, and it's not like he gave it to someone shit. Marmoush has been on fire. Like I actually made that joke with you. When he's 50 yards out, no problem, he'll score probably, in my opinion, goal of the season. But when he's 6 yards in front of goal, for some reason he has a bozo gene sometimes. But no, look, jokes aside, it wasn't banger. No, but look, jokes aside, it's look, not again, it's not like he gave it to someone shit. It was like, I don't know, Marmoush is new to the squad. He's new to the team. He's just getting into it, trying to fit in. Why would you give it to him? Again, I don't know why they did that. It was a bit frustrating to see him do that. And then even more frustrating when he did miss because it was, again, I wasn't even angry at Marmoush. I was more angry at Haaland. I'm not even lying to you, lads. Like, I was like, what the fuck? Like, are you serious? Because I was like, Haaland, you should have taken that. And again, like what I said to you from the start, if Haaland missed, I wouldn't even be that pissed off because I'm like, all right, you're our striker, whatever. These things happen. You go again. You know what I mean? And that's what he's famous for. One of his best superpowers Haaland has, not his strength or whatever, is he has a shit memory. And what I mean by that is he might miss 3 or 4 times in the game, but then score another 3 afterwards. Do you know what I mean? Because he just always forgets. And like where other people be like, oh, I fucking missed, I suck, I'm getting off. You know what I mean? Haaland doesn't do that, which is one of the that's what I mean. Great superpower.
Salah's exactly the same. Salah will miss a sitter, and then 2 minutes later we'll be demanding the ball and we'll have a shot from outside the box and fucking scores it. But
And
just
that's a
the
great trait
confidence,
to have.
just the
that-
confidence to keep going and not shy away, to still want the
That's what I
ball,
mean.
to still want it. Yeah, that's what every
And that's
elite
what I mean.
player
That's the
has. Every
difference
elite player has.
That's what I mean. Like, so Messi does the same, Ronaldo does the same. You know what I mean? Ronaldo might boot the ball 52 times in the game, might only get it on target 3 times, but he'll score out of those 2 times or whatever, blah, blah, blah. You know, peak Ronaldo. And same as Messi, you know what I mean? Might dribble past, you know, back in the day, Messi used to get tackled so many times, but it's like he kept going, didn't let anything think. But yeah, look, same thing. Don't know why it didn't happen, but look, I won't get too much into it besides should go like, because you know I really wanted to win something for KDB in his final season for us. But look, at the end of the day, he's done everything and more some for this club, so we can't. And you know, like, and I'll be modest here and I'll be humble. Believe it or not, guys, I can be sometimes when it's not involving Arsenal. Be humble there. Congratulations, Crystal Palace. Besides all this bullshit, besides all this drama we just talked about, you deserved it. Congratulations, well played. You were the better team on the day. Even though the stats don't say that, doesn't matter. The main stat is the one at the top on the right hand side or on the left hand side where it says the scoreline. That's it. That's the main stat that matters. I don't give a shit if it's 50 billion%, whatever. Just give me that win, and that's what they got. So fair play to them. Congratulations. But fuck yous as well. I hope you get bought out by like everyone, and everyone just takes your players. And yeah, now I'm the new hater of Crystal Palace, not you, Sol. No, look, jokes aside, well done, fair play. Just a quick one. Besides that, I was just speaking about before. So the game against Bournemouth, that was a must-win. That was our catch-up game because obviously we're in the final of the FA Cup. And yeah, look, to be honest, it was comfortable. Like, yeah, Bournemouth had some chances or whatever, but I was like, why? And it was actually, again, a bit frustrating to watch because I was like, why don't we play like this in the final? You know what I mean? And in my opinion, Bournemouth is probably even a better team than Crystal Palace. But, like, again, I know it's different circumstances, different occasion, whatever, but I was just like, come on, guys. Like, why don't you just put this effort in? You know, like, I know it's KDB's last home game, whatever, but it's like, you know, that was KDB's last final game and you couldn't put that effort in. So, whatever. But other than that, I'm pretty happy we got the win because, again, like, that was a must-win. Now we're sitting comfortably in third, if you can see the table. And now, realistically, we just need a draw, but obviously we're going to play for the win. But, yeah, if we get a draw, I think we're pretty much set no matter what happens, even if the others win or whatever, just because of our goal difference. Correct me if I'm wrong. But, yeah, that's all we need. Unless there's, like, some ridiculous score line or whatever, something happens, then, yeah. But, yeah, no, look, other than that, we got Fulham next. I call this game the Friendship Derby, just a personal thing between us. One of my best mates is a Fulham fan. So, yeah, we always watch this game together. But I don't think we are going to watch together because Monday, 1 a.m. is not really a good time for us, lad, unfortunately. But, no, look, at the end of the day.
Terrible time.
Yeah, because what? It's Sunday in
time.
England, isn't it? Sunday afternoon or whatever. If not the day. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Yes, whatever. Look, at the end of the day, if it was super important, then yeah, I'll probably take the day off or whatever, like I did for the last 4 years. But this time, yeah, I'm not. So I guess it doesn't really matter what happens in the final day. So yeah. Besides, just get the win or the draw. To be honest, I want the win, but we'll see what happens. Not much more to say. Can we do the predictions now or wait for the end of the Fulham game? You're muted.
Okay, we'll just message tomorrow.
Okay, no
I haven't
worries.
got it written down.
Yep, cool. All right, no stress, no worries. But you know who's stressing, who's worrying? I'll let you take it away. As you can see, this man is defeated. This man is
I don't even
replenished.
want to talk.
He doesn't even want to talk. He doesn't even want to look at us.
Let Joey take it away.
No, you take it away. No, we're not. No, he's on 2 strikes
I don't
already.
even want to talk, man. Fuck.
Yeah, you're gonna have to. I mean, I copped it. I had to talk shit
What the
about my
fuck?
club. So
What the
get
fuck
on,
is there to
get
talk
on.
about?
I mean, I don't know. You had a cup final as well. I know your cup final was weird and like it's a new competition or whatever, but might as well talk about it.
Yeah, so as we know, the El Modico, what is it called? What do you say? The El Shiriko
No, Shidiko or
was
Krapico,
on the what?
the Battle of the El Krapico, the El Shidiko.
El Crapico, yes.
Mm.
United versus Tottenham, Europa League final. So we lost 1-0. Pretty devastated. Yeah, like I said, this was our last sort of chance to get into the it was our last chance to get into the Champions League. But really, it was just to get more money and players as well. All really wanted from this. Like the win would obviously the win in the trophy as well, but just having the extra money and the ability to get a little bit more better players would have been good. But yeah,
That's
Tottenham
definitely the issue.
won.
Okay, look, I'm not even going to sit here and banter you so much. I'm just going to tell you the truth. So I reckon
We
he's going to
should.
struggle now. I reckon he's going to struggle to really get back into that top level of English football again.
Yeah, I know. I think we are as well.
It's not
We're not even
a
gonna
two.
make
I don't
teams.
reckon it's a 2 or 3 year road back for United. I think it's at least a 5-year thing, and you have to get it right. Or if not, you're teetering on the border of relegation. If one of them teams were half decent, you would be in serious trouble down there. If all them teams weren't so shit, you and Tottenham as well, not excusing, but it's just I don't know. Yeah, I don't think a transfer window or 2 or 3 can fix it at the moment, especially not with the money you have. And you have to, if you do buy 3 players, you're gonna have to be like
We're
special
gonna
players.
sell. There's gonna be like 10. There's gonna be like 10, at least 10 people going. I reckon. Like I reckon there'll be 10 people. Like half the more older people will definitely go. I reckon. Like Casemiro. I even think Bruno
Like,
might
it's
even
like,
think
I
about
don't
leaving
know,
as
like,
I was
well.
gonna
just-
say, do you think Bruno
just-
will go?
I reckon it's even deeper. That just if
If we
just
get
look at
that-
the way things are handled,
Right.
like
Ever since, yeah, I know it's from the
a
top.
barbecue at Carrington, if he's one, not allowing the staff to come, which like to the final. So Amarim and Bruno having to fork out money. It's just like if that's the shit that you're having to do to save money, if that's how real tight the books are already, like that final would have been huge for you to win in terms of revenue and stuff. To
Yeah,
get
I
into
know.
the Champions
That's why we
League.
needed it.
It's scary.
Exactly. Yeah,
dark
like I said,
days ahead.
it wasn't even really the trophy or anything. It was exactly what you're saying. The revenue, the attracting better players, getting into Champions League. Because even getting out of the group stage, if we did, probably not though. Like you get a little bit more money just from that as well. Just shit like
to be
that.
honest,
Yeah,
like Liverpool got 90-something million for topping the group, for topping the group stage, like 90 million, and then I think you get 80 for making it in. That's 100.
Yeah.
That's massive amounts of money, especially considering, like I said, if United are really worrying about spending, £100,000 on a little parade or like buying tickets for the staff to come to the final. It's
Yeah, I don't know where we go from here. Like, ever since Radcliffe's fucking joined, it's sort of actually gone worse.
Yeah, I reckon it has.
Since Amarim's joined,
honestly
it's
reckon
definitely gone worse since Amarim's joined. I'm not even going to excuse him either. Like, the whole
Bring back
season has
Ollie.
just been absolutely shit.
Bring back Ollie, I reckon.
I think Ten Hag probably would have done better, like, and probably would have won the final if we were fucking, like, if he was in charge. But
I actually was gonna say that. I'm not even like trying to banter. Like, bro, he actually has experience. He's won like 2 cup finals with them as well. Like, that's what I
I
mean. Like,
already told you that this when we first got him, this has just felt like another Ten Hag sort of signing, but not even like a little bit less. Because I said Ten Hag was more experienced.
I'm so glad we dodged him. I'm so glad we went not the Amarim team. I'm cheering.
but
yeah,
is he is he like? So are you like on the teetering of like, oh, Amaron out and let's start again, or are you like,
Who,
all right, let's give
me
him a
or
chance?
the club?
No, you. I'm asking you, just your opinion in general. Fuck the club. I
think
don't care what the
I
club
reckon
thinks
I
at the
can
moment.
answer this for Jacob. I reckon if a top coach was to come along, someone who Jacob fancied, and they were saying, "Yeah, I want to coach United."
Okay,
I
but
think
let me ask
would be
Jacob,
like,
who do you
yeah.
fancy, Jacob? Who would like? I just go in a perfect
Obviously,
United
the
world.
main one who Joseph said the last week or the week before. Who was it?
Sorry, I can't
Ancelotti.
remember.
After obviously the World Cup thing, I said give him that little 4-year deal, so then go back to Brazil. I've always told you, I love Simeone. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't care how he plays. Simeone, I fucking love Simeone.
You know
I've
what? That's two good
always
shouts. Yeah, and he would bring you like a culture back as well. Like
always have
Sim-
like Simeone.
Simeone,
Yeah.
Simeone would.
like
The thing with Simeone is he would definitely, so he definitely create unity between the team and the fans, and he would also definitely make his very hard to beat.
And bro, it's not
But
like
that's
he
just-
plays
but
full
that's just-
defensive. Like he plays attacking as
No,
well.
he
Like
doesn't.
it's not like
He's a tactical manager, is what he is. He doesn't have a set style of play. He will adapt
Yeah.
his play to the opponent. If he's playing against Real Madrid, where you know you've got the likes of who they've got up front, or Barcelona, of like, it's only a smart thing to do to naturally go, all right, look, these guys are better than the guys we played last week. We're probably going to have to double up on one or two of them to really stop them, because, you know, if Ronaldo, Bale, or someone like that gets the ball, you can't just allow a one-on-one to happen. You've really got to double up on players like that. And yeah, that means that an attacker who might usually be a bit further up the field is now further back defending.
there's a reason he's the most highest paid manager. No, is it La Liga or in the world? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Pretty sure
No,
it's the world,
man.
It's the world, isn't it? That's it.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
crazy to think who's around in this day and age of coaching, and he's the highest paid manager. And there's a reason, you know what I mean? Like those
But
fans
the
fight.
thing is,
those fans fight for each
that's
other
an
like it
ideal.
was. Huh?
I said that's an ideal world, but because I don't think he'd leave Athletic.
No, that's why I said to you, in a perfect United world, who would you pick?
The third person obviously is Zidane, and then maybe fourth. Honestly, the fourth person, maybe Conte. I'll take Conte. I don't care.
I mean, he just
Like
won
with Napoli.
Yeah, fair enough. With two old United lads as well.
You should have Lukaku up front. And that's, what did I tell you? What did I tell you about when he's let go of McTominay?
Bro, Lukaku was hectic. I thought he was good.
Yeah, but McTominay, bro, he's just gone out. Isn't he just player of the season in Italy?
With McTominay, I was full going to tell you this too. Like with the system, Amorim, like obviously got sold at the start of the season. If we had him with Amorim, I reckon he would have played heaps good, because we played with like two center attacking mids. So I reckon he could have been that off striker that kept running into the box. Like if we had him before, like
that's what he's been doing for Napoli, bro. He's been doing that heaps for Napoli, man.
Like, but obviously we got told.
The thing is, if I look back to like last season, there was like a massive stretch of games where he carried Jews, man. Like he was the man.
Yeah.
Like he kept popping up with late goals.
Garnacho saved us like heaps of times.
He kept coming off the bench and scoring last minute goals and shit.
Yeah, and just like popping up. And then he was the first one out the door over the likes of like someone like Eriksen.
I think he would have fit perfectly in this system.
That's just I would definitely I almost guarantee he's will be paying Eriksen probably more wages than you'll be paying McTominay.
Yeah, but I heard like if we sold, we got told that like to sell McTominay because it was pure profit. Because obviously he was an academy player, so I think that's what happened.
How much did they get him for?
Or just don't spend
35 or 45, I think it was. 35, 45.
Seems like a steal for them. That seems like a steal for them now.
Yeah, and like even Ten Hag came out after and said that he didn't really want to sell him. And again,
was it the club you reckon more wanted to sell him? Because like you said, they're like, let's make
financial situation. It's a financial situation they're in, man. It's
and now we're gonna 100%. I reckon Sancho's gone, Rashford's gone.
Can I ask you this, Sol? Would you exchange the whole because
did you see the little? Is that you talking about Bruno?
No, I was talking about Bruno. I was gonna mention this whole money situation. Because your owners are doing this apparently because there's a new stadium coming, right? Or some bullshit like that. That's what's happening. would you exchange that for like, all right, fuck the new stadium, let's just worry about the team first, then worry about the outside, the outside. Because what's the point?
If we're
This is
winning,
the thing.
you can laugh about the cracking roofs all you want. We're winning. Yeah, obviously, 100%.
Thank you. That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say. And then, like, no, but if you're winning, you can fix the cracking
Yeah.
roofs with the win money. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, 100%. I'll switch it for the fucking obviously.
Yeah, no, but that's what I mean. Like, I feel like you're going what Arsenal
just
did.
honestly, let's get rid of.
Yeah, sorry to, yeah.
Yeah, go on.
No, I was just saying, like, this is
Right,
reminding me
100%
of
get
what
rid of
Arsenal
Ratcliffe.
did. Like, I remember when Arsenal got out of Highbury. Oh, this a bit more different because they actually changed stadium or whatever. But same concept.
We'll
Like,
try and
they
build
went
it
for
back.
this. Yeah, they rebuilt or whatever, and they went for like, they were doing all right, or whatever. But then they went for a really, really rough patch. You know what I mean? Even after when Wenger left, whatever.
I think the thing is, but I don't think United owners lack money. This is the thing, but they don't lack money. So, but with all the rules that you've got to abide by now and stuff, like even though United are massive, they've got these.
I heard that we're only allowed to spend like 100 million.
They've got these massive financial restrictions, and they're losing, and yet they're paying players £400,000 a week, and not one of them, like 5 or 6 of them. Like their wage bill is like what United have paid players is like the highest in the Premier League, and we're talking like Mason Mount on like 300 grand a week, 250 a week. At Liverpool, a player of his caliber, like Curtis Jones or something like that, you look what they're on. They're on like 70 grand. Like they just pay players so much. Their wage bill is phenomenal. And
I feel like that was the Glazers.
That's what's killing them.
The Glazers.
It's just
like,
the management.
You know, that's the Glazers seed still there. You know what I mean?
It's not like they don't have money. Like, look, how much did you pay for Højlund? Like 70 million, 60 million?
67, yeah, 67.
60, nearly 70 million pounds. And he's done fuck all. You know what I mean? Whereas you look at Liverpool, I'm just going to use us for an example. We bought the Salah for 35. I know it was a few years before. But bang. It's just, that was a lot. That was a bit bad example, actually. Bad example.
That was a shit example. That was a shit example because that was a few years ago. But I'll help you. He's went and bought McAllister for 30-something million.
35
and
million.
He's on
McAllister.
Yeah, 35. And he's on what wages, whatever. Like, so yeah.
They just paid bought Jeremy Frimpong for 29 million.
Wait, is that confirmed?
He's probably scored more goals than Højlund does.
29, 32.
No, is that confirmed? Frimpong.
Yeah, Frimpong's 100% confirmed. Yeah.
All right. Well, look, Sol, do you have any more to say?
Glad the season's over. I got to listen to it for 12 months. Like, I'm not going to be able to skip anything. Like, as soon as I say something for the next 12 months, it's going to be look where he's landed. Look where he's were this season.
Not 12 months. It's only a few months before the next season starts.
12 months from now because it will be the end of the season.
No, it's really not because it's really not. You've got to the season. Next season starts for the banter. Really, about
that's how I see it as well.
If you're at the top of the table and I'm going, where'd you finish last year? It's like, well, I'm at the top of the table now. But like, who cares about that?
Yeah.
Look where I am as of right now.
True. But still, it has been the worst season of any big club ever. It's been the worst season I've ever watched in my life. So, the only way is up. Well, not really. It is because we can get relegated. So, but hopefully the only way is up.
It can't go on like this.
Even when we were shit, we used to get 40 points, bro. So fuck. This is, you know what?
We're on 39, brother. We're gonna win against Aston Villa and help us out.
I'm just gonna say something.
Hey, you never help us out. You never help us out. You always lose. I feel like he's lose on purpose when he's trying to help us out.
We're getting slapped like 5-0, bro.
What?
Morel's fucking in the mud.
Is it at Villa Park or?
No, it's at Old Trafford. That's why it's going to be 5-0.
Do you know what's funny? Do you know what's funny? Is that this is another funny one. This is labelled Rashford like not good enough, so he's like cast him out. Yet the team he's playing for potentially in the Champions League next year, and
Yeah,
He's
like
got
I
the whole
said,
week
he's
off.
definitely gone. Sancho's gone.
You're not good enough
Yeah,
for
one
us.
game
You're
a
not good
week.
enough for us.
Bro,
We'll
we
play
fucking
Premier
deserve
League.
this one game
Yeah.
a week, how shit we have been. So it might be good for
It'll be
us.
good for you, in a way.
It will be. It will be good for us.
Realistically, and again, this is not even like a jokes. I'm asking this seriously. What is your expectations for next season? Like, what do you think like is going to happen? Like, all right, again, this is speak too soon because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what's going to happen in the
true.
transfer
You don't know
market.
who's
Blah
going to
blah
come
blah.
in. Blah, blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah,
who's
blah.
going to
Yeah,
come
well,
in? You know, you might get a takeover.
look like-
You know, but again, this is just a what if.
Look, I
Coming just
are
from
you
now,
looking
let's
for a
just say
slow
everything's the
rebuild,
same.
or-
Yeah, like what are you saying? Slow
Bro, with the squad
rebuild.
that we have, we
Scrap
better be
the
above.
Like,
10th,
are you just
that's all
happy
I'm
not to
saying.
get relegated next year? Is that your
Nah, I said with the squad we've got, we better get above 10th, bro. Fuck
Wait, let
me.
him speak. Let him speak. Yeah.
I don't know.
Tough.
We're shit. It's been rough.
Do you know what I
Like
really
said,
enjoyed?
I've had-
I really enjoyed that when the camera panned to Fergie and he was just had that full-on look of pure disgust. He's even the top 5 most disgusted faces I've ever seen in my life. It was good to see him like that.
Now, my favorite was there's some
He's
fat
so
kid.
bastard.
There's
Oh,
some
that
fat
cry.
kid cheering,
Shit.
and then all of a sudden the
I
cameraman
thought
did
that
him
was Harry Maguire's kid.
the cameraman did him so dirty. Like you saw it, like they full got him cheering, whatever. Like he's going for it, and then like with like 2 minutes to go, they panned to the camera again, and that poor kid's absolute in tears. But yeah, no, it was some good moments. But I can't wait. Look, let's congratulate Spurs over here because they big Ange, second season masterclass.
I guess
Big Aussie.
The
We've been bit of
silver
his
lining-
we've been bit of his or not fans, I guess. Just like I guess because we're from Australia, we've been somewhat advocates for Big Ange, or we were at the start until he started dusting some of our teams. But no, look, jokes aside, fair play. You know what? He's put Australia on the map in a good way for Australian soccer. Look, put the club Vince stuff aside. Let's talk about Australian soccer. I know not all of us care about Australian soccer, but it's just good to see that, you know what I mean? Because we do live in this country, whatever. So, and it is not the dominant sport. So, I like people will see that now and be like, "Oh shit, I can make it in England and win!" Like you know, blah, 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 you know what I mean? And that will inspire, hopefully, like
well
another
done.
generation.
Fucking one shot on target and they fucking scored. Fuck you, Spurs.
Hey, welcome to my world. That's literally what happened to us. So.
Yeah, we had like
I know.
70% possession. We can't do shit. Just exactly what we've been doing all season. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, no, look, they switched it up. Like I honestly thought they were gonna come out guns blazing. Yeah, that's what I mean. I thought they were gonna come out guns blazing, but like you said, I saw the percentage. You had similar percentage to what we had. It was like 70%. Yeah, that's what I mean.
Shots on target. They had one.
And they had what, like 30% possession or something, whatever it was. Yeah, that's crazy. But no, look, fair play. They've switched it up. And got Tottenham's first trophy in what was it, 17 plus? I actually remember. That's how old I am. I'm showing my age here. I actually remember Tottenham's last trophy. It was in 2007. I actually remember watching that game as well because it was a Carling Cup final. I think they were playing Chelsea. I think I'm pretty sure.
Michael Carrick playing for them then? Who was he?
I can't remember, bro. I can't remember. Maybe he was. I'm not sure. I just know they had Tom Huddleston, Chimponda, Michael Bentley or whatever his name, or Mike Bentley or whatever his name was. Yeah, that guy. He was all right. Yeah. And at that time, I remember thinking to myself, I wish I was like Spurs. No. But no, look, crazy to see that, I guess, whatever. But, to be honest, I'm more just impressed with Ange. I was like, you know what? You did it. You said you were going to win in your second season, and you did. So fair play. You back what you say.
He did.
Yeah.
I'll correct myself.
By that,
I don't usually win things in my second season. I always win things in my second season, mate.
And then he pulled. I don't know if you saw in the parade. He came out with some hard quote saying, "Second season." So I don't know. I can't remember. I don't want to botch it. Something to do with second season. Can't wait for the
most good in all the good movie series. The third season's always better than the second. Mic drop.
First of all, that's wrong. That's wrong because I know what he's
that's
watching.
what I thought. But look, we'll just let him have it. Let him
Yeah,
have
look,
it.
let him have it. He's won it. He's won it something. Fuck.
Just
Congratulations,
seeing if
Spurs.
there's
Whatever.
any
Congratulations,
breaking
Ange.
news. No breaking news.
No
What was
breaking
that?
news. But look.
First European
Not
trophy in North London.
Oh. Yeah, look.
Can't remember one of the Europeans before.
There is a silver lining. You brought up a silver lining, didn't you, Sol?
That's what
Yeah,
I
we
mean.
might have had a
Like,
trophyless
that's-
season.
I was about to say that before. The silver lining in it all is Arsenal fans again. Like they've copped it again. Haran Balteta has
They
been
have.
done by a big Ange, mate.
Copped
They
it
might be
again.
laughing at us right now, but in a few weeks they're going to realize that Tottenham's got a fucking European Cup and they don't.
Bro, they're not even laughing from the
And
videos.
the thing is, and this is the thing, Arsenal they're going to spend big in the transfer window. That's for sure. They're going to get some.
Well, they got a
moves.
new board of directors or something, or they got a new director of football, whatever they
But
call them.
in
Do you
saying
want
that,
do you want
it's
your one
still-
back?
it's-
You want your one back, George? Do you want Omar Barada back?
No, you can have him, bro.
Nah,
Barada's
I don't want
fine.
him anymore.
You can have the
You
guy
want
that
him?
used to go get.
You sure you
can
didn't
you
send
can
him
have the
to us
guy.
just to infiltrate us? I swear.
No, you can have the guy that used to go get us the coffees and shit. It's all right, and make him, the CEO or whatever you did. It's fine. Keep Omar. Keep him. Now, look, I think it's more than just jokes. I think it's more than just an Omar Barada
know.
problem. It's a lot of things with your club. But no, back to Arsenal just quickly. Yeah, look. Again, yeah, we might have had a trophyless season, but hey, they're used to this apparently. Yeah, second again. Ole ole. What can I say? I'm not like that. I said this in the last pod as well, so you know I'm not even talking shit. Yeah, and I even said if we lose, whatever, but they don't win, I feel good. It doesn't matter what happens with us now. And you know what? Yeah, it still feels shit that we lost the final, or whatever. But at least Arsenal didn't win anything this season, and that's great. And I have something to admit to you boys, and I'm not gonna be straight up honest with you. So as you know, we had a jersey bet this season between me and Joey 6 times. He received it last week, on the pod or whatever. I'm not gonna, so I said to you, I only got it a couple of weeks ago, whatever. I'm lying to you. I'm straight up lying to you. Do you know when I got it? When we lost 5-1. And the U's were ahead a fair bit or whatever, but at that time when we lost 5-1, but yeah, I just remember after that defeat and just seeing how they carried on and what they said, I was just like to myself, like, I don't want them to win. But I don't want to admit that as well because obviously because of the bet or whatever. But I was just like, yeah, I hope these cunts don't win. So I remember on the day like we lost, I was looking up at jerseys. I was like, all right, fine. I'll admit defeat now. I just hope they win. You know what I mean? And if they didn't win, I was gonna return that shit so hard. That's why the tag was still on there. But no, look, it's just is it a good season for us? No. But is it a good season that Arsenal didn't win? Sure. Because at the end of the day, I know we'll bounce back. I can't speak for everyone on this panel, but I know we'll bounce back. We have to bounce back. But Arsenal, they go, unless they sign big, what you said, unless they sign big this season, I think Arsenal can go back to mediocrity really quickly. You know what I mean? And they're starting to, it's that, that little toxic fan base is starting to pop up again. Like I'm seeing Teta out. I've seen people with hats Teta out at the stadium. Such a quick switch up. It's insane. This and they do the whole. They do the whole, we're loyal, we're the greatest fans. We got our teams back. We got a dog named Win. But, it goes sour for not even 3 months and all of a sudden Teta out. We lost 14 games in a row. I didn't say Pep out once, even though I wanted to. I didn't say it once.
I was on AFTV the other day and I seen them saying, like a group of them saying, they're calling him Ghost Guard. We need to get rid of this Ghost Guard fella. He's just not good enough. I'm like, this is your captain. This is your captain.
Yeah.
Yeah, last year he was the greatest 10 in the world.
Even last year, Martinelli was the greatest left. Oh no, it was 2 seasons ago. He was the greatest left week in the world. Now
That's
he's
when they
fucking
wouldn't
going
trade
crap.
him for Mbappe. That's when they wouldn't trade him for
Yeah,
Mbappe. They've had some terrible
Bro.
takes.
They're quick to fucking turn, eh?
They're so quick. It's insane how and this is
But, yeah.
I think look, I don't like Evra. I hate Evra, but I agree with one quote he said just recently. I think you all might have heard of it. He was saying
Netflix.
nothing wrong with Arteta, nothing wrong with Arsenal players, blah, blah, blah. He goes, there's one thing wrong with Arsenal.
Oh,
And he
yeah.
just goes straight up the fans. He's like that. He goes, there's the most toxic environment, like fans in the whole league. And like he's practically saying they're the reason. They're delusional as hell, and they're the reason like Arsenal is shit, practically.
No, but he just said they're delusional and that Arsenal aren't this great team that they all think they are.
But he's blaming the fans. He's not blaming.
Yeah,
when
they're disappointed
blaming the players. Yeah. But that's what I mean. Like,
well, and
that rattled them too. Like, you know what I mean? They were like, instead of like, oh, okay, let's think about this, and said, no, fuck Evra. He's what did Evra ever do? I mean, I'm pretty sure he won multiple Premier Leagues with, but anyway, against Arsenal as well. But still, at the end of the day, yeah, look, they bring it upon themselves. I wouldn't even be talking about them if they haven't caused me grief and pain. Even this season, we weren't even in the title race, and they were still giving us shit. You know what I mean? So it's like, that's just the type of fan base they are. You know what I mean? And yeah, may it continue. Unless they spend big, again, jokes aside, unless they spend big, because we were talking about, like, let's be fair, like, we were talking about Arsenal potentially winning the title, you know what I mean? They were only one or two good signings away, let's be fair. You know, if they had signed a decent striker, not even a good striker, a decent actual goal-scoring striker, not Havertz, and another backup midfielder, I'm not even trying to banter you, I reckon they would have maybe had the title this season, just because, you know, they had the experience. They just went toe-to-toe with City 2 seasons in a row. They, you know what I mean? Like, they just needed that little goal scorer to get them over the line. And it proved dividends because towards the end, all the main, like, attackers were missing. And, like, all right, fair play, whoever they brought in did a job here and there. But that's the thing. He did a job here and there. Yeah, that's what I mean.
Timber's really the only thing that did anything. Calafiori
I'm
did shit all. He's been injured all the time.
No, I'm talking about when all their attackers got injured and they brought in Moreno to play striker or whatever.
Oh,
like,
yeah. Sterling
I'm saying,
didn't do much.
Yeah,
like
Sterling,
you said,
no one
they
did
didn't
anything.
spend the money on Calafiori, didn't buy Sterling and Havertz. That's like, what, nearly 80 mil right there. 80 mil with heaps of wages. Could have got a striker.
Bro, 100%.
Timber's been a good
Ivan
signing
Toney was
for them,
literally on the market as well. Like, there was
Yeah, I
flirts
forgot about
between
that.
him. Yeah, and then goes to Saudi Arabia.
Honestly, if they got Ivan Toney, they probably they would have pushed us more. Definitely, 100%. It would have been a heap more.
No, and look,
they slipped on
you can even admit.
Massively.
You can even admit they could have even potentially went all the way, and it's not even like, again, I'm trying to be funny or joking. Like,
Yeah,
that's
and
not far.
who knows?
Yeah.
Let's not go that far. Right? Let's not go that far.
Just trying to make conversation. Calm down.
Bro,
He's won. You're champions. All right, calm down. Congratulations. Calm down.
Bro, we still got games to play, and my boys have already been to Saudi. They've been to Ibiza. You know what I mean? They're going touring the world party, and still games left in the season. But that comfortably, the boys, slots, probably doing a couple packets and having a few beers, getting it on.
Poor mentality, in my opinion. But look, each their own.
Yeah, cool, mate.
Cool, mate. You know, that's why you win one every 20 years. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's why you win one every 20 years. Because you guys go drinking because it's so excited. You know what I mean?
Did you not win 100 or something?
No, it wasn't even that. 30 years. We already discussed this. We had the same drought that you did. So, yeah. What are you going to do? Exactly. That's what I thought. Look, congratulations. You won. You have one more. You won. You have one more. Fair play.
And we beat you twice.
And
the champions and we beat you twice.
Fine. Win 4 in a row and then come talk to me. Yeah. Then we'll have a real sort of conversation.
Huh?
FFP.
FFP.
Yeah, FFP. Actually, speaking of FFP, I wonder when that's going to be because apparently it's supposed to be this season. But it's funny that you don't mention FFP when you're winning, but all of a sudden when you're losing,
just did.
FFP is the first defender.
Literally,
Yeah, I'm just saying. Yeah, but every week it was brought up when we were winning. But this season I haven't heard it once. It's funny that.
Well, I've been waiting for the verdict, Like you said, you just kept saying, wait for the verdict, wait for the verdict.
Yeah.
So I've been waiting. I took your advice.
But it's just funny. It was never brought up or mentioned once this season. I didn't even think I heard the word cheats once. Barely.
Been brought up.
But then, the other few seasons when we're winning everything. Oh,
bro, you just got beat by Crystal Palace, man. You just got beat by Crystal
Last
Palace.
time I checked, weren't you the cheaters?
Just back down.
Didn't you go through our emails? Didn't you go through our emails?
Brother.
There's only one club on record that cheats, and I'm pretty sure it starts with Liverpool. But anyway, back to the.
Well, there is another club on record that cheats, and
actually, there's a few.
It was proven.
There's a few. Everton, Nottingham, Man United even got
proven. Just because the punishment was not being banned from a competition, you still got issued a fine. So you still broke the rules to some degree from that UEFA incident. Then he's going to the Champions League, but he's never served the ban. He's never got cleared.
That was rumors. That was bullshit.
He's got a fine. No, it wasn't. It's on Google. It's like a fine still means you broke the law to some degree. That still means you broke the law to some degree.
But not to do what we got accused of.
So you still,
what we got accused of.
Yeah, but you still cheated at some degree. So
you cheated. You actually got caught cheating. We didn't. You went for it.
Okay, you just paid a fine. You just paid a fine out of the goodness of your hearts, did you? All right. Yeah.
No, we paid a fine.
Anyways, the thing is going about email. You can go on about emails. I'm going to go on about.
Because you hack them, but we don't.
Yeah. Cool.
That's your club. That's your club mentality.
We don't break
you
the financial fair play rules. Get investigated for 2 years. Look at you trying to bring up an argument. Here we are. Good one.
Yeah, I'll bring it up.
Anyways,
no problem. You bring up.
Get back in your corner. Beaten by Palace. Beaten by Palace.
So what? Didn't you get beaten out of Newcastle this season as well? Didn't you lose final as well?
Champions. What trophy did you lose?
But you lose
what trophy is you going to lose?
Champions, but you lost the cup final.
What trophy?
Yeah,
what trophy?
You lost the final.
What trophy you going to lose this
champions. You lost the final and you're champions.
Did Newcastle beat you this year?
No.
Not once?
No, they didn't.
In any competition?
Not that I can. No, I can't think. We didn't play him we didn't play him in the Carabao. I'm pretty sure. So, yeah.
No, Tottenham knocked us out, didn't they?
And Tottenham knocked us out. Yeah. That's what I mean.
Anyway,
and then you got knocked out by Newcastle in the main final. Yeah, I'll bring it. I'll bring the smoke. No problem. You might be champion, but you're not going to be a champion for long. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
All right, champion. No worries. We'll see you next season.
Thanks, brother.
Make it warm for us. Make it warm for us.
Thanks, brother. Yeah.
Until next time.
Pep's coming back. Yeah.
He is. We're going.
Anyways, so not really too much to talk from a sporting aspect on the Liverpool side, the red side of town anyway. Already won. Got beat by Brighton. Congratulations to Brighton. Better team on the day. Deserved the 3 points. Away fans still cheering. All is good. And we got Palace next. Anfield, going to be a trophy lift. Yeah, party's going to be bouncing. I reckon both teams just bring out their trophies and have a big party.
That'd be insane if they brought an FA Cup to it. That would be insane.
They can bring their blue confetti, eh?
Yeah, bring it all. Let's have a party. Don't worry about the game. We'll just have a party.
Bring a mix like with the blue and the red for Crystal Palace.
Imagine bringing a cup final to a Premier League game. That would be
was
insane.
a good one.
Yeah.
That was funny.
I'm just picturing it. Like they're like full on, like holding a small FA Cup title as well with a kid on the
Yeah,
other
but like,
side.
and they can set up like a little stage
I-
at the front of their fans, and then we can
thriving.
set one up, and everyone. Anfield doesn't like we'd probably accommodate that because it's Crystal Palace, and we have actual no problem with Crystal Palace in the world, really. That could change next year if they beat us, then I'll hate them. But yeah, anyways. The main thing I want to talk about today is something that another thing that you laughed about last week, George, when I brought it up. When I said apparently Liverpool were becoming favourites to sign foreign inverts, and you were like, "Oh, where do you get that from?"
I just asked where did you hear from?
Nah. If you want to go back on there, you can see some skepticism in your phone. There it is.
I was skeptic, but I wasn't laugh. You're like,
definitely.
I was chuckling and shit. I didn't.
Maybe that was a bit of an exaggeration, but there was definitely.
All right, fair. As long as you admit that, then that's fair enough.
Yeah.
And I admit I was skeptic. I was more than skeptic. That's why I even made the comment. I was like, where you get that from?
Yeah. So, as of the most recent news, we'll go back in time. Liverpool would talk to him, presented him the project. Obviously, he's had between, I think, us, City were involved. City withdrew to him being too expensive. Bayern Munich are out. Well, Bayern Munich was still in there, but he's apparently decided that he wants to join Liverpool. Has told Bayern Munich that's going to happen. All contract formalities between Liverpool and Wirtz are agreed upon already. It's just a matter of the clubs coming to an agreement. Leverkusen apparently want the deal done swiftly, so Liverpool, Fabrizio Romano said he would go soon. So looks like we're getting Florian Wirtz. Yeah. Apparently, at the moment, it's going to be a cash player swap, a cash and player swap. So I'm thinking potentially looking at Harvey Elliott going the other way.
Harvey. Who's
going
to go?
Harvey Elliott, Bayer Leverkusen.
Who are you putting him in for the midfield then?
Who Wirtz?
Yeah.
I reckon you're going to see Liverpool line up. I reckon you're going to see Liverpool line up in a false nine with him playing false nine. And that's going to utilise Kerkez and Frimpong and hopefully Kerkez, who are obviously marauding attacking players. So I do suspect you're going to see a bit of tactical change from Liverpool next year. I think you'll see Salah and Diaz coming a bit more central, and you'll have Kerkez down one wing, Frimpong down the other. Then Szoboszlai is going to be dropping deeper. I've already heard word of that he's apparently he wants to be a more central in the field player. And he's got legs, he's got energy, he can tackle, he presses, he's got a good eye for a pass. So I think we'll be seeing two holding midfielders maybe instead of one, two centre backs, 4 players defending, 6 players going forward.
Pretty sure he plays winger as well. Correct me if I'm wrong. No, not Szoboszlai, Wirtz.
Yeah, he can play on the wing. He can play. He's not blessed with like a massive he's not slow, but he's not like explosively fast or nothing.
No, he's not super fast, but like he can cut in really well. Like I saw a couple of clips of him or whatever, just from it seems to be like he's coming from the wing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and his dribbling's good as well. He's a good player. 22 years old. And I just look, I haven't had a signing like this.
Not a lie, if you sign him.
I'm going to say I haven't seen a signing since like Van Dijk, but this is a Van Dijk signing.
That's what I was about to say.
The money we paid for Van Dijk.
I'd say bigger.
What was that, 8 years ago?
I'd say that's bigger. I'd say bigger.
Yeah, this is
has the
like
potential to how proven he is. No, because of how proven he already is. Kind of somewhat like Van Dijk. Don't get me wrong, he wasn't like shit or whatever, but he was at Southampton. You know what I mean? Like, they came 6th or 7th, whatever that season. That's why he's went and got him. But it wasn't proven yet. If you get what I'm trying to say, like, he was good, whatever. Wirtz was like, just came off, or not this season, but last season came off like one of the best seasons in Bundesliga history, whatever. Undefeated season. And he was going off.
The key man going forward.
Exactly.
Yeah, so, and it's different for us Liverpool fans to really see us going in for a player who's already top level like status. Usually we go for the player who's upcoming who can be top level. But he fits both categories, this guy. He's 22, as I said, and he's already in the top 5 players in his position in the world.
I'm going to keep it real with you. I'm going to keep it real with you. If you sign him, then you're looking at another good season. I'm not even going to lie. That's a sign of a championship team. And you know what? For the first time, I can actually say your owners, if they do this, if they get this over the line, not yet. I'm not going to give them props. That fair play. You know what? They actually are showing initiative. I'll banter you. I can banter you like,
they found their wallet.
Yeah, they found their wallet. Yeah, I think they're watching the pod.
I'm going to say because, and this is the thing with them, they own American sports teams as well. But I do feel like over the last couple of years, they're starting to really realize that this soccer team, the football team there, Liverpool, is going to be bigger than anything they've got in America in terms of sports teams. American sports, no doubt, it's definitely big, but
you see, I thought that as well. But you know what's crazy? The teams that make the most money are like American sport teams, believe it or not.
Yeah, but they're baseball.
I'm trying to say, like American sports, like NFL, baseball, all that. They generate the most in all, like out of all sports. Like I think in the top 10 sports in the world, I think there's only 2 soccer teams that are in it. I think it's like Real Madrid and someone else, like, I can't remember who else that, generate almost the same money as the American sports. Everything is like basketball. Yeah, maybe it's Man United. It could be Man United.
No, it is.
Everything, there we go. Yeah, so it's like the top 20 something, and everything is like basketball, NFL, baseball, NFL, blah blah. You know what I mean?
But this what I'm saying. I feel like that is going to shift. I do. Like I just feel like football, especially English Premier League now, it's really starting to like become the football league in the world. Whereas maybe 5-6 years ago, it was, Oh, good. Yeah, he's gone.
Aristotle just had to leave. No, he's not running away. So if anyone's thinking, free lad, look at him. He's doing everything. He's making sure he's signing off. Continue.
I just feel like, the way football's gone, and the Premier League, that's right, like 5-10 years ago, I feel like La Liga probably had the most attraction to it because they had Messi.
It still kind of does. It still does because of that era and stuff. And
that's what I mean. I feel like that is slowly changing to the Premier League. And I feel like in 10 years, the Premier League is going to be like this epic full-on league.
You know what? I somewhat agree with you. The momentum is shifting. Like you can see, like the for example, the Asian countries, they're into more of the Premier League. India is now really into Premier League.
I feel like that's why Real Madrid want. That's why the owner of Real Madrid.
The Middle East is now starting to watch. Yeah, the Middle East is starting to watch the Premier League. Before, like, I'll be honest with you, bro, because like again, I like a background from the Middle East and whatever, and I know a lot of other people from different backgrounds and stuff. Besides English-speaking countries, the Premier League, what you were saying, it's not that big as what we think it is. You know what I mean? Like, like what we're saying, like a lot of, like, for example, the Middle East are really into La Liga. Asia is really into Africa. Africa love La Liga. You know what I mean? And in Italy and stuff. So it's like, the EPL is not as it's big, it's global, whatever. We know this, but it's not as popular as what we think it is. But there is that shift turning. You can definitely see it because before there wasn't like dedicated bars and stuff like that. You just have to rough it in those countries. Now it's like there's supporters clubs and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And that's how you track
100%.
those
And
local fan bases.
I do feel like that's what's, I feel like that's maybe what the owners have realised, because they seem to be paying a fair bit of attention to the club in the last, ever since like a bit before Klopp left, the season before Klopp left, when they let him, buy, the whole new midfield rebuild and a couple of other players here or there. Obviously, they didn't give Arnie Slot any money last year. Whether or not it was a test to see, let's see what you can do. Obviously, he passed the test of flying colours, won the league. Everyone loves and trusts the man now. I've got no doubts about his managerial prowess, or if he's good enough for the role. He's proved obviously in some of the competitions, and losing to Newcastle in that moment. This is the thing, and in the moment of going into that cup final, we already knew we were going to probably win the Premier League. It was going to take a massive drop off, a catastrophe, and Arsenal to be near perfect, and that was never going to happen. Look at them, and we were never going to drop off like that. So I feel like the hunger for these other competitions kind of died off a bit, because we knew like we're going to win that one. If we just want to win them games, and we're going to win that. That's what we can easily win. That's the most easily winnable trophy. And then obviously come up against Newcastle. Yeah, we had that game, but Newcastle were hungry. They just wanted it more on the day. And yeah, I do feel like our players knew in the back of their heads, disappointing, spewing, but going to win the Premier League anyway.
Yeah.
If that was the only trophy we were fighting for that season, I think we walk off the pitch winners. A better team than Newcastle are. But yeah, it's just good to see Liverpool acting in the transfer market, getting their deals done quick, being aggressive, and as well, I'm going to be honest, the last few years, every time we've gone in for a player, Bellingham, we wanted Bellingham, Real Madrid. We wanted Zubimendi, Arsenal. Like I know he didn't go from us to Arsenal, but we didn't go back in for him again. Arsenal did, and then so he said yes to Arsenal. Caicedo, Lavia. There's been a few players where if we've gone in from and someone else has, the other team's been, and they're not even generally necessarily better than us. Yeah, like Chelsea haven't been a better team than Liverpool in recent years, but still able to entice them with wages and stuff. And whereas now we're kind of this machine that's like in the process of slowly rebuilding as well. But I think everyone can see that there's something, potentially to go on, something good to go on here. And players want to come to Liverpool.
That's what I was just saying before. Look, in my opinion, this is like, again, jokes aside, this is the first time I've seen your chat, like your ownership actually take initiative and be like, all right, if we want to keep going with this, we want this success to keep going. We need like those, one or two big. No, it doesn't have to be full squad. It doesn't have to be 5 or 6. Just a couple here and there. That's what we used to do for so long. That's how we kept winning, because we'd buy 1 or 2. No, sometimes 1. You know what I mean? Just get it, like just what we needed, sort of thing. But also keep rebuilding whatever, and that if you do that this season, then yeah, in my opinion, yous will be the like banter aside.
Have you seen your name, KBD?
Oh no, Kevin Bradona. Kevin Bradona. I can't even
it looks like Caden.
Kibda. This is, bro. I don't know what I thought. It's Kibda. I'm gonna miss you, bro.
But yeah,
Kevin Bruyne D. Now you spotted out when it's towards the end of the show. Fucking hell.
I just realised that. Yeah, look, we've been on for, I could chat about this all night. Look, we've been on for an hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah, we'll call it up. We'll call it.
We'll call it.
We'll call it.
Look, I'm happy. Hopefully next week, everyone watching, I can unveil words, and hopefully Kirk heads.
I hope you don't.
Obviously.
I hope you don't. I hope I come back and I can do my evil laugh if it doesn't happen. You were saying I'll do it.
Adios, lads.
Until next time, guys. Peace in the Middle East. Thanks for again. See you
Peace
next
and
time.
peace. Take it easy. Later.
Bye.